So guys, some of you have been asking what it costs to live and study in Canada. That's what I'm going to be covering in today's video, and I'll be sharing a little bonus at the end of it, just like I've promised in the title, so stick around for it. Now let's get into this. As most of you already know, Canada is a big country, so it would take an insane amount of resources for me to cover every city and the cost of living in it. So I took a look at a few cities, a few main cities, a few that are not so main, but basically that have lower costs, or rather different costs from the main cities. And I feel like that would give you an overall idea of what it would cost you to come and live and study here, and probably even work here, because the information I'm going to be sharing is not only tied to students. We are going to break it down into 7 categories. That is tuition, housing or rent, healthcare, food, transport, utilities, and entertainment. Starting off with tuition, this will depend on the institute and the program of choice. Now, as you might have already figured or not, this is going to play the biggest role in your cost of living here in Canada. You're going to find that cities with the more expensive or the higher cost of living tend to boast also the more expensive universities. It could be due to quality, but it might also not be. Shade. Even where I'm studying in TRU, you'll find that different programs have different pricing. So to find the more accurate information, or rather the most accurate information, you're going to have to probably visit like the website of the university you're planning to visit. Or rather, you're not visiting any universities. The university you're planning to go and study at. However, this didn't stop me from running a quick Google search to find out that anyone planning to come to Canada to study should be prepared to spend an annual average amount of between 20,000 to 30,000 Canadian dollars on tuition alone. This figure might sound scary, but then it shouldn't really, because compared to other places like Australia and the US, Canada is very affordable. Now, I hope that gives you at least an idea of what you're going to need to come prepared to spend. Moving on to the second category, housing/rent. Now, where you choose to stay in Canada will play a major role in how much you're going to pay for a place to live. Did you know that more than 1/3 of the Canadian population lives in the 3 biggest metropolitan areas in the country? That's a very big number. Why? Opportunities. Simply, just opportunities. We see foreign workers, young professionals, immigrants moving to these places because of the opportunities that exist there. And that has driven the costs of living, or rather the housing costs, up. And this has made Vancouver, Montreal, and Toronto the 3 cities with the highest housing costs in Canada. So if you're planning to visit these places, you should have that in your mind. These places are not cheap in comparison to the other places that exist within the country. Apparently, due to COVID, housing prices in Canada might fall by about 7%. Keyword, could. Other than that, Vancouver has the highest housing costs in Canada, with a 2-bedroom apartment going for about $2,793 per month. Per month. I don't know about you guys, but that is a pretty high figure, for me at least. But if you're balling, go ahead, do your thing. Other cities I checked out are Toronto, Calgary, Mississauga, Ottawa, Montreal, Hamilton, and Edmonton. Feel free to pause and take a screenshot. Those prices are pretty high, I can't front, but there are ways for you to spend less on your accommodation. One is by moving in with friends. You find friends and you rent a place together and you split the cost. The second one is by moving out of the city and staying in a place that is much cheaper. However, there is a cost to that as well. If you work in the city, or if you study in the main city, you're going to have to go through longer commutes to and from work or to and from school. Another thing that I would recommend, if you're an international student, usually universities provide residences. Personally, I pay a certain fee, and the residences come with utilities attached to the fee, or to the cost that I'm paying. These utilities include electricity, water, and it also comes furnished. So if you're a person that doesn't mind residing in university residences, it's definitely an option that I would encourage for a student. And yeah, that's about it. The price range for the university residences that I'm staying in lies between 2,000 to 9,000 Canadian dollars approximately per semester. So they cater to different cash brackets. There are also smaller cities that you can move to. For example, in Ontario, we have the likes of Timmins, of North Bay, of Barrie or Berry. I don't know if I'm saying that right. But yeah, here are a few of the cheapest cities across Canada in terms of housing. You can check them out. Do any of them look familiar? Is any of you going to study or live there? Please drop a comment. I would like to know. The third category is healthcare. Now, I don't know if you guys have heard this before, but apparently the public healthcare system here in Canada is superb. Canada delivers. Now, I haven't had the privilege of proving this, but I'll take their word for it. Now, they have this publicly funded healthcare system called Medicare that basically provides about 70% coverage for its citizens and permanent residents, regardless of your socioeconomic status. That is crazy. Crazy amazing. Now, each province has its own health insurance plan, and this is monitored by the federal government. And of course, you'll find that different provinces will offer different coverage plans. Some will offer more, some less. For example, with Ontario residents, you find that people under the age of 25 and over the age of 65 get free prescription drugs. That's just a perk of living there. Did you know that because the government of Canada regulates the prices of medicine here in Canada, Canadians pay a much lower price in comparison to their counterparts in the US for medicine? This is because the government strives to control inflation in the country. Now, for people that are interested in a public health insurance, this is commonly got when you get a job, right? When you have an employer that can help you set it up and subsidize it for you as well. This will basically fill the gaps that are left by Medicare for those additional healthcare needs that you might need or that you might require. Those mean the same thing, but you get what I'm trying to say. The good news is that private health insurers in Canada offer competitive rates and flexible plans tailored to each province and territory in the country. The cost of private health insurance in Canada is broken down as follows. There are different types of coverage, and each has a monthly cost. The first one is family, paying about 175 Canadian dollars per month. The second one is single parent, who's a father, paying about $78 per month. Then a single parent who's a mother will pay about $110 per month. And then an individual male will pay about $47 per month, while an individual female pays about $80 per month. Now, these are just averages, of course. You might find some things that differ, but this is just to give you an idea. If you plan on having like a private health insurance here in Canada, should come prepared with a number that is surrounding these figures, mostly here in 2021, because this information is recent. Please note that newcomers to Canada may have about a 3-month waiting period before they can access Medicare in the country. So it would be a good idea to consider getting a private health insurance in the meantime before you have access to this, because anything can happen. I thought it would make sense to also add the cost of keeping fit to this healthcare part. So if you're a gym enthusiast or someone who just loves to get a good workout in from time to time, listen up. Here is the average cost of a gym membership in Canada. For a chain gym with basic amenities, I honestly do not know what a chain gym is, but I'm guessing, no, I won't even try. I do not know what a chain gym is. But it says for a chain gym with basic amenities, the monthly cost is about $10. For a mid-range option with spa services, the monthly cost is going to be about $40 to $60. And then for a high-end gym with several in-club classes, I'm guessing things like Zumba or yoga, that type of thing, you should expect to spend a monthly fee of about $190 to $205 per month. If you're interested in other fitness activities other than the gym, here are a few. For CrossFit, the monthly cost is about $125. For yoga, you're going to spend about $29 per class or $196 per month for unlimited classes. You just decide what works for you. Then for Zumba, you're going to have a monthly fee of about $75 if you commit to it. And for kickboxing, you will have about $120 for 4 classes or $200 for 8. And then our last option on this list is for MMA, you will have a monthly cost of about $105 to participate in this particular activity. Now, if the price tag is not something that you're searching for, if you're not interested in paying to stay fit, Canada is a place that has so many parks. Mostly even where I'm living, Kamloops, just so many hills, so many places to enjoy outdoor activities. So you can consider using these places to take to go for a run or to go for a hike or just do something that gets your heart rate up. The fourth category that we're going to take a look at is the cost of food. Canada has seen an increase in the prices of groceries, a shortage of toilet paper and bread flour since the start of the pandemic. Now, this is largely due to the rapid change in people's spending habits and also the logistics costs in terms of Canada having to import food from the US and Mexico during the cold months of November to May. And Canada is also a large country with many remote areas, so you find that they have to travel long distances to ensure that these places keep fed or these places have enough food. And this costs money, definitely. Canada's food price report indicates that the average Canadian family will spend about 12,667 Canadian dollars on their annual grocery bill. And this is an increase of about $487 in comparison to 2019. This does not include eating out. You must know that. And I bet that you single people or people that are yet to have kids are all like, because it's crazy. These kind of figures are not small figures. Anyway, here is an infographic with prices of things that commonly appear on your shopping list whenever you decide to go and stock up. Please feel free to take a screenshot, or alternatively, you can always come back and watch this video. One thing I would like to mention is for someone who's staying alone, you'll find that your costs mostly for food are not that high because there are places that you're going to find that are really affordable. For example, Walmart, for example, Superstore, you find that there are foods that you can purchase on a weekly basis that will keep you going. For example, I personally spend about between 3,000, I was thinking about Kenyan currency, wow, between $30 to $50 on a food budget in the week. Now, I've had weeks where I've even spent about $20 or under $20 to feed myself for a week. And it really just comes down to your appetite, man. There's no one who can put a cap on you. Some of you will spend about $90 a week. I mean, go all out, man. Your pocket, your wallet, please bless us. Our fifth category is transport costs. Canada is known to have an efficient transport system, most especially in the metropolitan areas, and it has several options across these places. And these options include train, subway, tram, and you can also just order an Uber. But depending on the place where you live, you'll find different rules apply there. For example, me living in Kamloops, BC, I was shocked to find that Uber does not operate here. Here they have their own local service cab, or rather cabs, which are called one Kami cabs and the second one yellow cabs. Those are the two popular ones here. So you will have to probably just research and find out how the place that you're going to be living in functions. I was introduced to these two by someone. I met a stranger at the supermarket when I was stranded with all this stuff I had bought, groceries, thinking, oh, I'm just going to order an Uber. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I have used Kami cabs, but I haven't used yellow cabs. So you let me know when you use it. Me, I haven't used it. Here are the average costs of transportation in Canada. Now, as I've already said, all these are just estimates and will change depending on where you stay. Personally, my university has an arrangement with the public transport company operating in the city, so we are charged a subsidized price that is also added to our tuition. So we use our IDs when we go to the bus stop. We have our IDs on us, and inside the bus, when you're entering, there is this place where you just swipe your ID and the fees are charged. So yeah, just find out how that operates for you if you're an international student. And if you're a person who's not really coming for school, then you definitely find out, or rather figure out how the transportation system in whatever place you're staying works. But these figures should give you at least an idea of how much you should be willing to spend on transportation. Just to show you how prices can vary from place to place depending on where you're going to be living, studying, or working, I decided to go check out the transport prices, or rather the transport fees charged by the transport company operating here in Kamloops. And here they are. You can already see the difference between the estimates shown in the screenshot before this and these prices. So this is just to mentally prepare you that you're going to have to kind of do your own research to see what is different about the place that you're going to be living in. Our second to last category is entertainment. Now, if you're a person who loves to be indoors, this one you can just skip over. But if you're a person who's excited by, nature, sightseeing, outdoor activities, this one's for you. No matter what kind of adventurer you are, Canada has a place for you. Whether you love to be in the city seeing architecture, if you're impressed by that, Canada will have something for you. If you love nature, like I've already mentioned, we have hiking trails. I'm saying we like I'm from here now. We have hiking trails. Rather, they have hiking trails. They have jet skiing, water rafting, different activities that are really for anyone and anybody, right? So even though you would like to catch your first ever hockey game, that is possible. I wouldn't be sure about this particular period of time, but eventually it will be possible. And this is just for people who are planning to come and stay and work here and do all that type of stuff. It's possible, and you, if that is something that you're into, you're going to have it at your disposal. Here are the prices for a few of the activities that I've already mentioned. Please go ahead and take a screenshot if you need it. Moving on to our last category, utilities. Now, depending on where you rent, utilities may be included to the fees that you pay. If not, you're going to be responsible for paying for things like electricity, water, and the like. Now, I have not had the privilege of paying for this, so I wouldn't be the best person to break it down for you and tell you, oh, this is what electricity might cost you or water might cost you, because these things are added to the fees that I pay for the university residences that I stay in. Now, this didn't stop me from doing a quick Google search for you guys to find a few articles that might come in handy. Let's start from the 2019 articles that I found. I found a 2019 article that talked about a total utility expense on average of about $315 for people that are living alone, right? And that is just a general figure for people living in Canada. Now, another article that I found focused on people who are staying in BC, or rather British Columbia, and this article basically talked about people that are renting a 2-bedroom apartment in British Columbia. It found that these people spend between $120 and $150 monthly on utilities alone. Now, while these figures are available, I feel like they are not really of high value, mostly in this particular period in time, because a lot has happened since 2019, as you already know, with the pandemic and everything. So this is why I opted to finish off with this particular category, the utilities, because it lets us segue into that 2020 article that I found most valuable. It was the holy grail of my search for value for you guys. This was a 2020 article basically talking about the cost of living in Canada, a 2021 guide. It was basically titled like that, the cost of living in Canada, a 2021 guide. And even though they didn't cover all the bases in terms of like all the costs and all cities, they covered some that are, I would say, valuable and can give you an idea, and hopefully that will be enough to allow you to budget and plan for your migration from wherever you're coming from into Canada. Now, the utility expenses covered in this article include electricity, home internet, data, and car insurance, which I presume are common utilities. Now, to come through on my promise in the title, the cost of moving to Canada in 2021. I'm talking from visa fees, settlement funds, to hiring an immigration consultant who ensures that all the money you spend on immigration documents like language tests, will not be all for nothing. That 2020 article I mentioned earlier has a breakdown of the different immigration classes. It has that and the associated costs are summarized in this table. In addition, I came across a second article that is even more comprehensive in terms of covering the more common immigration documents that are required and the costs that are also associated with those documents. And I thought that that would be even more valuable to share with you guys. So I decided to drop a link in the description. So feel free to go and check it out. Almost everything in this particular video is available in that 2020 article that I mentioned, that article that is titled The Cost of Living in Canada, the 2021 Guide. And I feel like it would be essential for you to at least take a look at it, because there are different things that I also left out that I felt would be better read and understood by you guys, because I didn't want this video to be extra long. And also it's just to give to send traffic to this valuable resource, because it would probably add more value to you to have a direct connection to, you know, the source. That said, we've come to the end of this video and I hope that you found it helpful. If you liked it, leave me a thumbs up. If you loved it, please subscribe and ring that bell. Also, check out my other videos. Until next time, peace.